Life Society at the University of Edinburgh was started in 1988, so we're now in our 37th year. Originally it was started at the university as, I believe, just a small group of friends who got together to enjoy whiskey and have some social time together. And over the years it's developed and changed form in many, many ways, but at present it's a society that is dedicated to the pursuit of whiskey appreciation in all of its forms. I actually originally sought it out myself, so I grew up in a household where my father collected whiskey, and whiskey was always something that was kind of adjacent, and as I grew older I became more and more interested myself, probably from a bit too young of an age if I am honest, but when I came to university I knew that I wanted to join a society that was dedicated to sharing whiskey and whiskey appreciation. When I grew up, and I'm sure it's still the same for a lot of people, whiskey as a topic can be incredibly intimidating. It can be something that's seen as stuffy, very tweedy, sort of old man's beverage, and it's not something that was brought out to the broader masses. And to see a group of young people that were interested, engaged and curious about what whiskey had to offer, whilst also delivering that quality content which people were expecting, really met both elements of what I was looking for. Those first three tastings are meant to ground, inform and shape the person's knowledge in such a way that they become critical, not in a negative capacity but having the eye for critique within the whiskey, being able to pluck from the apex of the flavours and decide, okay, this is a particular note that I'm getting, this is what I'd like to share, this is how I present it, this is where it fits into a broader appeal. Because, at least from the society's perspective, whiskey is a comparative art form. One cannot compare whiskies against one another until one's actually tried enough of a mass of whiskies to do so. So that first starting point forms the basis. As we evolve throughout the rest of the semester, there's more emphasis on differentiation, eccentricity, and trying as far and wide as the corners of the whiskey world will allow. That sometimes means an old and new contrast, where the society purchases bottles from auction, usually from the decades around the 1950s, 1970s, and then we'll buy the modern day equivalent. We do most of our tastings blind. We don't show any labels, we don't show any branding, we actually hide the physical bottles themselves so that there's no guesses as to what's in the bottle. And we have people guess. And that activity is both a fun activity, people can enjoy it, but it's also to try and demonstrate that picking up on individual distillery characteristics, picking up on even the regions as we so called them, cask finishes, the variety of casks that are used in the maturation of whiskey can be a very difficult art form to differentiate, in that people can access it, get used to it, feel confident in particularly environments where there's no judgment or they're actually there for the appropriate enjoyment of whiskey and not the snobbish enjoyment of it. That builds that confidence.